Don't bring people into your mess, girl. Please. I condone that kind of ghosting.
Question, tell me what you think about me.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. The microphone is out, so you know what time it is. It is time for another unsolicited advice video. So this is the series where I take random queries from the gag forum and give my advice. Unsolicited, that is. On anything from love, dating and relationships to friendships, lifestyle and fashion. So if you're looking to hear the perspective of a girl who's done a shit ton of shadow work, stay tuned. I thought, you know what, let's start off with a big, a chunky one, you know, a hefty one. And here we go. Me and my best friend have a crush on the same girl. I don't want to lose the girl. How do I move forwards? Wait, what? Why did I think it was going to say I don't want to lose the friend? I don't want to lose the girl. Okay, you know, let's just read this. Let's get some more context for this. So me, my friend, and this girl are now friends, okay? But I had a crush on this girl when I saw her for the first time, but didn't tell anyone. Rookie mistake. After a week, my best friend says that he also has a crush on this girl. He didn't tell just me, but everyone in our friendship group except the girl. At that moment, I didn't know what to say, I'm guessing he meant. What to tell and didn't say anything. I really like this girl and I don't want to lose her because of bro code. Every day he tells me how she looks and what she did. Hearing this, I feel bad and guilty because in his opinion, he was the first one to bring it out. Even if the girl liked me, wait, what? Even if the girl liked me, everyone in our friendship group. Okay, wait, I understand now. Even if the girl liked me, everyone in our friendship group would look at me like a piece of, what do I do now? First of all, if it's your best friend, I don't know if it's different for guys than it is for girls, but I feel like if it's you're calling this person your best friend, you should be able to tell them that you like this girl. Just be like, hey, I'm really sorry I didn't tell you this before, but I actually had a crush on this girl when, I don't know how long you've known her, but I also do have a crush on her and I've had it for a really long time. And I do think, like, I know you don't want to lose the girl, so both of you should probably just make, I don't know, man, this is a difficult one, but I don't know how, well, it says age 18 to 24, so you're young, like, this girl is probably gonna be off your mind, like, when you leave any perimeter or area that you guys, when you leave whatever is connecting you, so for example, if that's school, once you leave that school, she's going to be off your mind, let's be real. And you guys both would have probably moved on to someone else or some other thing. So if this best friend is really your best friend, that's more important than possibly maybe having a relationship with this person. And especially if she hasn't mentioned that she likes either of you yet, then just let it go. I feel like just let it go. If that happens, then that's something else you guys need to deal with. I don't know. I've never been in this situation. I feel like me and my friends' tastes in people are very different from each other. So I don't really get into situations like this. But personally, I would just have told my friend or tell my friend how I'm feeling. Hopefully they are reasonable and actually my friend, and we can both kind of maybe agree that just to kind of, I don't want to say she's off limits because, I mean, she has her own free will as well. And she can, you know, if she's interested in one of them, then why not? Then your friend should just be happy for you at that point. It's really not that deep. I just want to say, like, I feel like it's just not that deep at the end of the day. I don't want to lose her because of bro code. Do you know what? Do you want to lose your friend though? Like, which one would you rather have? Which one is more important to you? This possibility, this basically fantasy, because it's not a reality yet. You're not in a situation. She hasn't even, I'm guessing, expressed her any kind of emotions towards you as of yet. So I would just tell your friend what's going on so that you're both in the loop, so that there's no kind of secrecy or anything like that. You're both being open with each other, and then go from there. Is it fair to be angry at my husband because he doesn't make any money? The spelling mistakes in these questions kill me so much. It's Berlin going on. It's Beline. Is that what is that? It's been going on for 6 years. 6 years, damn. Is she Hispanic? Anyway, just because of the spelling mistakes. I'm so damn tired of this. Every single expense in the house is on me. I wonder what the hell did I do to deserve this? Probably not speaking up would be the main thing, I would say. I feel like a lot of the time we end up victimizing ourselves when really it's just that we have to speak up. And I know it's hard because I still don't do that enough as well. But yeah, I'm a hardworking woman. I never expected a husband to be the only breadwinner, but this is really killing me. I feel bad every day, I'm guessing she means. When I come home, he rarely has dinner or helps with the housework. I've tried to encourage him in so many ways, but this doesn't work anymore. Again, communication. You need to communicate this to him. Like, this is basically your breaking point. If it doesn't change, it's been going on for 6 years. Like, how many more years do you want this to go on? You need to explain to him that, you know, I'm making the money right now, which is fair enough. Either you have to go out and make money too, so that we can both contribute to this household, or you need to contribute to this household in a way where you are making dinner and doing housework and stuff like that, because you can't do both. You physically cannot do both. And that's the thing. Many women end up getting roped into this kind of dual responsibility and end up really having more work than men. Doesn't matter if the man is the breadwinner or not. Sometimes women end up taking on more work overall, just in terms of taking care of the children. Or she didn't mention any children, so maybe they don't have any children, but taking care of children and housework and stuff like that, that takes a lot of time. So if this person is not contributing in that way, then that needs to be something that is discussed exponentially, quickly. Like, cut this off now. It's been 6 years, so this person, your husband, has got into like a rut at this point. Like, they are basically, they're used to it. Like, what, they're used to it. So either you need to really set that boundary in place and say, if this does not change by this point, almost an ultimatum, which I know never really turns out well, but I think that's where it's at, to be honest. If this doesn't change, then you need to set something like, if this doesn't change, this is what will happen. We'll get a divorce, I'm moving out, but whatever it will be. But yeah, you need to discuss that. Basically, get your affairs in order. I can't lie, because start now, because you don't want this to be any more messy than it needs to be. I hope it works out for this person anyway. She's not ready to commit. Should I wait? She is a friend of mine. She's not ready to commit as she went through a breakup, and she cannot replicate the same feelings to me on me. Okay, she can't reciprocate the feelings, right? How long should I wait, or what should I do? I would say keep being her friend, a genuine friend. This is one issue a lot of women have with guys, is that they pretend to be your friends because they either fancy you or they want something from you, which is not a genuine friendship. Like, if you're a guy watching this, think about the friendships you have with your own guy friends. Like, I'm sure you're not just friends with them because you want something from them, or, you know, something like that. Like, be a genuine friend to this person. She's going through a breakup, but if you can't be there for her 100%, like, for example, if you can't be there for her emotionally and all those type of things while she's, I don't know, maybe talking about an ex and stuff like that, if that's too hard for you, then again, set that boundary. Boundaries are important. So set that boundary, like, hey, I really like you, and I'm guessing she probably knows that, maybe. Hey, I really like you, so this is really, it's really uncomfortable for me or difficult for me when we talk about this, but I'm really happy to help you, to continue being your friend and help you in XYZ way. I just think, don't wait. Never wait. Just keep living your life, honestly, and things always work out how they're meant to work out. If that's going to be you and this friend, then so be it. At least you know that when it does come together, it's in a kind of healthy way, in a way that is fulfilling for both of you. But up until that point, keep being her friend, and take care of yourself. Basically, just pour more into yourself, focus on yourself, don't focus on her too much, because clearly she can't give you what you want. And when people say that they can't give you what you want, take it as face value. Just accept it for what it is, because the longer you stay in it, the longer you kind of try to keep that fantasy alive, that possibility alive, let's say, the more painful it is, and the more it just kind of extends the whole grieving process almost, because, you know, it can feel like a bit of a grieving process. Why don't I feel happy in relationships? I get so exhausted having to discuss things together and miss having things my way. Yeah, I can slightly relate to this one. I just don't think this person is in the right relationship, to be honest. Like, relationships, or anyone that we relate to, does she feel the same way when she's got her friends? Is it just in general she's not really a people person in general? Maybe. I mean, I'm not really 100% a people person anyway as well, but I always used to think this. I was like, why can I not, you know, when you look at other people and they're so comfortable around people and they like being around that person, I'm just like, I like my own space. I like alone time. And like I said, I like having things my way as well, for most of the part. But there's certain people who I have connected with, who I know, who I felt that different energy with, where I'm like, actually, yeah, I could do this. Like, yeah, I could marry someone. Yeah, I could be in a committed relationship with someone. Yeah, I could share my space with someone. Like, you know, I'll reveal this to you guys. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I'm quite a private person and I don't like revealing a lot of stuff online, even though, why would you make a YouTube channel then? But yeah, whatever. There was like one person or one situation where I've been shared a bed with someone. This is like an important thing for me. Up until like this certain person, basically. How am I going to say this? Anyway, up until this certain person, whenever I had shared a bed with someone, all I was thinking about is the time when they would freaking get out of the bed, because I would just feel uncomfortable. Like, I just wouldn't feel happy. I just wanted to be by myself. I wanted to be in my own space. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. It just was icky. Like, I just didn't like it, you know? Like, I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to be around that person, even though they were a perfectly fine person and I liked them in every other aspect. But just being in that close proximity with them, after a certain point, I was just kind of like, I'm ready to go home now. I'm ready for my own space. But there was one person where I knew that it was kind of like that, okay, there are people out there that maybe I won't feel this way with, was that I recognized that I was in the bed with this person or sharing a space with this person, and I didn't want to go and I didn't want to leave, and I was actually content and happy in that situation, like in the bed situation, or you know, in the space with them for a long period of time. Like, I didn't desire to go home. Actually, I didn't crave my own space for a while. So yeah, I think it's just the right person for you. Finding the right person for you will really change that whole thing. I'm so shy to make love with my boyfriend. It's not my first time, but it's the first time with him. I mean, I have a lot of desires and scenarios in my head, and while I'm alone doing it, you know, the thing. But when it comes to the action, I just feel that I'm going to embarrass myself in front of him, even with my facial expressions. I want to be free, but I just can't. What if he thinks I'm silly or funny? I know that's stupid, but help me, please. Oh. And they're like 23 as well. I'm only 24, but I don't know. I feel like such a mother sometimes. Anyway, it reminds me of one time it was my first time actually, and I giggled or I laughed or something like that, and it made the partner I felt like they felt uncomfortable from that. And it wasn't because I was giggling or laughing, because it was because I was uncomfortable, and also because, I don't know, I feel like sex should be fun. It should be like lighthearted, and it should give you that kind of happiness and feeling and childlike feeling of playfulness. That's what I want anyway. That's what I find most comfort in. So yeah, I don't know why I said that actually. That doesn't really relate to this question. But so, it was just because he said, what if he thinks I'm silly or funny? And I think that's a cute thing actually. Like, there shouldn't be something you're worried about. and especially if it's your boyfriend. I don't know if I'm just feeling this person's energy or what. But yeah, every time I read that line, I just feel like this really like lighthearted, like, oh my god, don't be so silly, but like, even if he thinks it's cute, they think it's cute. Fucking hell, I feel like I'm channeling messages right now. That's so weird. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so they want to do it, which is good. Okay, I was like, okay, maybe they're just not comfortable with the whole concept of sex, so that's fine. They're into it. It's just with this person. So really, I feel like, again, communication. Oh my god, is that going to be the main topic of today's thingy? But yeah, communication being number one. Talking to him about it, just saying like, hey, I just don't want to embarrass myself, like I'm really into this and stuff like that, but I might just be a little bit awkward because of XYZ. And then the rest is, honestly, sex is messy. It's a little bit embarrassing sometimes. It's a little bit clumsy, especially if you're watching porn. Don't compare yourself to that. Don't try and be that, because that's not reality. Reality is messy. Reality is two bodies, like, you know, sometimes not flowing too well and bumping heads and doing, you know, sweating and stuff like that. Like, yeah, and that's all part of it. That's all part of like the connection and stuff like that. So I think this person should definitely just focus on the fact of how they feel about their boyfriend and try to get out of their head. Like, getting out of your head is really important. So setting the mood right, so maybe getting some background noise or music going. If you feel more comfortable with it, turning down the lights or dimming the lights, so that you can just feel more like you can be yourself for the first couple of times or the first time. And then slowly, you know, as you gain confidence, you know, you can do whatever you guys do. Do whatever suits your guys best, I guess. But yes, getting some background music. I remember watching a show, I think it was Sex, Love and Goop or something like that. And there is 5 different sexual types or something. I can't remember what it is, but I think a lot of people who get in their head, very overthinkers, are more of like a sensual type of person. So really building up to the moment of like relaxing your body so that your mind can relax too. So, you know, asking your boyfriend to give you a massage maybe before you get into it. Again, music, candles, that type of thing. Like really tapping into your senses so that your brain and your mind isn't overworking, but because your senses are, you know, playing the most role here. So yeah, I think that could really help. What do you do when you feel hopeless about life? What would you do if your career and relationship suddenly went into despair? Well, I have bloody been there, I'll tell you that much. And they're only 18, so yeah, this whole stage of life, I feel like, and I don't want to discredit anyone who's like 30 and above, because I'm sure there are those challenges there as well. And a lot of us now are like, when we get to that age, we'll be great. And then we get to that age, we're like, yep, that age people are still like, we're still struggling. Trust me, we're still going through it as well. So yeah, when you feel hopeless, I feel like, honestly, gratitude lists work really well. Every single day, just writing something you're grateful for, even if it is just the breath in your body, even if it is just the sun coming up, or I saw a sunset today, or any tiny little thing. Doing it like every day really helps recalibrate your brain to really focus on the little things, the light that bring you happiness every day. Also, I can't think of the word of what I'm looking for right now. Tapping into your childlike energy as well. So things that you used to do as a child that really brought you happiness, whether that's painting, creating, whether that's putting on plays, whether that is, I don't know, I'm just thinking of making up songs or doing silly dances. Stuff like that, really tapping into your childlike energy, because a lot of us lose that and it kind of gets ground out of us as we are getting older. You know, so much pressure is put on us for focusing on careers and focusing on, what do you want to do in the future? What do you want to do in the future? Like, I don't freaking know what I want to do in the future right now, okay? Like, I'm just living life, and that's okay, and that's enough. Like, I don't need to do more than that. And those future things will come when they come. I think the hopelessness comes from looking too far ahead and feeling powerless at certain points in your life, and feeling like you just a bit confused and you don't really know what you want and you don't really know where you're going and just stuff like that. So yeah, recentering, getting back to yourself basically, like what do I like, who am I, asking yourself the big questions. I mean, they're not that big, but and I think just doing things that you like really helps re-energize yourself as well. Are narcissists capable of loving someone, or is that all a part of their seductive manipulation? I feel like a proper diagnosed narcissist, again, I am not a psychologist, therapist, anything like that. I'm just talking off of things I've learned just through research and watching stuff and being interested in human development. But anyway, I think diagnosed narcissists are probably not capable of loving someone in the way that people deserve to or should be loved, because they have been conditioned in a way to, they've been conditioned for survival basically. Like I actually do feel I have a lot of sympathy for narcissists, not of what they do to other people, because they can be very cruel, but I have a sympathy for their inner child and what they probably have went through to end up being that person. So yeah, a lot of narcissists are in survival mode, and you don't want to date someone or be with someone who's in survival mode, because they're in survival mode for themselves, not for you as a unit or you as a family, but literally just for themselves. So it's very hard for them to look outside of themselves. They also have very low self-esteem. Like narcissists come across as someone who's very confident and has good self-esteem. No, it's complete opposite. They have extremely low self-esteem, and it's very hard for someone with low self-esteem to love someone in the way that they deserve to be loved. I feel like it's reminding me of my video on Rue and Jules from Euphoria when I looked at their relationship. So if you want to learn a bit more, or I don't know, understand how that kind of dynamic works a bit more, I've mostly focused on the anxious and the avoidant dynamic, whereas narcissists probably would have fallen to a bit more of like an avoidant personality as well. But yeah, I'll put it up here if you guys want to watch that. Talking about that video, here we go. I feel like my abandonment issues mess up my relationship. How do I control my emotions? Any good tips? Whenever I feel a sense of abandonment, I go hardcore anxiety, very hardcore. And I end up just sending emotional texts when I'm stressing out about it. Is there any ways to help this? 100% there are ways to help this. This was me. This was literally me, like at this age, when I was 18, 24, that was me. Yeah, first of all, amazing to be conscious and aware of this, because I feel like the reason I repeated that pattern so often was because I wasn't aware of where it was coming from and what was the triggers. When you feel anxious, the number one thing is to slow down, pull everything back, get rid of your technology, get rid of overstimulation like phones and stuff like that. Tune into music instead, tune into one thing, like maybe picking your favorite movie or something like that, something that can kind of help calm your central nervous system. And one thing as well I've been really finding helps is or what I saw on TikTok as well, putting your head below your knees. So anything that kind of has your head lower than your knees or your body or something like that, it can calm your system down. Yeah, cry it out, literally scream out anything that doesn't involve anyone else basically, because when we rush into things, that's when we actually, I just said that when I was feeling very heightened and I didn't really mean it, and I'm seeing things a little bit more clearly now. When you have those that anxious attachment style, you are looking to get your needs met instantly. Like you want to do anything that you can so that person can respond, because that response shows your inner child that, okay, this person still likes me, this person still loves me, this person still cares about me, or they can still meet my needs, or they still desire to meet my needs. That's literally like the anxious attachment's brain. That's how it functions. But the thing is, you have to meet your own needs now that you're an adult, and you can't I'm not saying you can't look outside yourself to do that, but until you kind of become more aware of this and stop repeating that pattern, I feel like it's very hard to stop attracting people who bring that pattern out of you. So people who are avoidant and people who don't communicate very well and people who are unavailable and stuff like that, people who really just trigger that trigger, you know? So yeah, like I said, honing into one thing so it stops overstimulation, deep breathing, putting your head below your knees to help your body's stress response and calm your body system down, putting your phone on silent or anything like that, like just turning off your phone really because of the emotional text that I'm seeing here for this person, so that you're not messaging people out of heightened emotions. One thing I also have been learning through my interest in human design is that I have an emotional authority, I think it is that what it's called? So it's like very important for me in particular, and maybe this person as well if they have one, I don't know, not to make decisions when I am very high on emotions or very low on emotions. So yeah, my emotional center is very up down, so it's better to just react and make important decisions, or little decisions, even any decision, when I'm more neutral. So it's just in those times of heightened and lower emotions, being very gentle to myself and just waiting, just patience, to be honest, just being very gentle with yourself and being patient and doing things that soothes you and your mind. I'm in love with my best friend. I'm in love with my best guy. Oh, we've got another best friend one, I've just realized. Okay. I'm in love with my best guy friend, but he has a crush on a girl from the gym we both go to. Every day I fear he'll start talking to her, for now they don't know each other. Recently he became friends with some of her friends from the gym who often go out together, and I'm afraid that they're going to invite him as well. He'll meet her and sparks will fly and sparkles between them will happen. I don't know what to do. I've been thinking about befriending her and explaining the situation so she doesn't do anything with him. Yeah, that sentence just sounds 100% messy. Don't do that. Do not do that. If you're ready, go tell your best guy friend and just work it out from there. This is between you two. Don't go mixing up some other girl, poor girl, into this, okay? This is for you and him and your best friend to deal with. You're gonna have to pluck the courage up. If you want him to at least know how you feel so that he can make the most informative decision for himself of what to do next, whether that's pursue this girl if he likes her, or maybe he has feelings for you, I don't know. But yeah, keep that between you two, please, because don't bring people into your mess, girl, please. That's messy to me. Anyway, in my opinion, that's messy. But love is just a weird ass thing. I feel like it makes us do some mad crazy things, and whenever, again, like I said with the emotional thing, whenever we're in that energy, just slow down, take a couple days, take a step back. If you feel like you can't have the same relationship with him whilst you feel those feelings for him, then set some boundaries, like, hey, let's not talk about people that you're interested in right now because I don't feel comfortable with that, but I still really want to be your friend, and I still like you as a friend because I'm guessing you love him because you also like him as a friend, right? So friendship is valuable as well. Okay, can you actually fall in love with someone else without loving yourself first? I usually hear that you have to love everything about yourself before you can love someone else. Is this true? Many of the women I know think of themselves highly, and their husbands also have a good outlook on things. So I've never seen a person with low self-esteem fall in love. I think you can have a more of a honest expression of love. I think you can see the other person more clearly when you love yourself first, or just accept yourself. I don't think you have to love everything about yourself. Like everyone has their own toxic traits that they know that they have. Not toxic traits, I don't want to call them that actually. Just like stuff that they wish they probably didn't do. But it's like, yeah, but that's still just me, like I still accept myself and I still know that I deserve love. I feel like that kind of loving yourself, that idea of that, having a healthy self-esteem in some way, like, you know what? I like myself, I like who I am, and I know that the people around me like me for who I am as well. Like that type of rhetoric, I think that helps you see other people more clearly, because when we have those wounds and when we don't really like ourselves that much, it's like we become, there are a lot more triggers for us. Like there are a lot more things that, whether or not that person is secure, insecure, whatever their own attachment style is, I feel like, yeah, people are our mirrors. So when we don't really like ourselves, or when we're feeling insecure about something, that's all that's going to be mirrored back to us in some kind of way. So I think it is more healthy and more, it is easier when you do have a healthier self-esteem or accept yourself first. So, and I'm guessing many of the women that she knows, and their husbands or whatever, I'm guessing they probably have a good marriage. So when someone has, I think it's actually Married at First Sight that I saw this, and they mentioned like the three things to, I don't know if there's three, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like three things that allow love to blossom or something like that. And it's like consistency, commitment, and another thing, something else, I don't know what it is. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen. But so people in marriages, a lot of the time, they have had that consistency and commitment, which kind of helps them to reaffirm this love for themselves. So I do think that also contributes as well. Okay, I think this is the last question. This is, how do I say no? I knew this guy from a dating apps, and we've been talking for a few months now, but not on a daily basis. At first, I was interested in him, and he's also super nice, but as time goes by, I could not see myself being in a relationship with him. Our value and vision are totally different. I learned a lot from my previous relationships now, and know what I want and not want. Okay. I also told him from the beginning that I don't want to rush everything, since my last relationship was a total mess, and I don't want to be in a relationship just because I'm lonely. I want the feelings to come naturally. I don't think he got the signal, and he keeps saying he likes talking to me. I won't give this a chance, but I don't want to lead him on any more than this. How do I say no and not hurt his feelings? I need help. Thanks. Before. I'm smiling because this is like the perfect example of the question before of, do you need to love yourself to love someone else, or, you know, be in a healthy relationship or whatever it was? Because this person has a very healthy self-esteem. Like, they know, they've had their experience in the relationship, they've learned the lessons from it. I'm like so proud of this person. I don't even freaking know them, but I'm like, hey, healthy people, woo. So they've learned their lessons from it, and she knows she doesn't want to just be in a relationship because she's lonely. So yeah, and people say literally your values is what makes or breaks a relationship. That's what really should tell you whether you want to be in a relationship with someone, not just mostly chemistry. And it is hard when there's not a lot wrong with someone apart from like one small thing or something like that, and it kind of just like, it's not for you. So I get it. But I think there is no way to let someone down without hurting their feelings in some way, or without, you know, giving them a little knock to their ego, because that's just humans for you. That's just people for you. And I think we can't be afraid of, you know, not saying what we want, or expressing ourselves, because we're so concerned about other people all the time. I think as long as you're doing it in a tactful way, as long as you're being honest and being clear, I'm not sure if she'd want a friendship with him or not. Maybe it's not best because he's clearly not getting the signals. And this is someone who seems like who doesn't have a healthy self-esteem, because he's not getting the signals. A secure person would not hear that, hey, I'm not really ready for a relationship right now, or whatever she has said to him so far, and still think, hey, I really want to give this a try though, but I really think this could work. It's like, no, because I just told you it's not. But yeah, his perception is warped. So it's up to this person to really just set those boundaries and just be like, yeah, I feel like our values aren't aligned. Like, tell him the things that, not saying like, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. Like the things that basically mean that you don't want this, and you know that this is not what you want. Basically, like, I don't want this, and So that's it. Like, let's stop talking. Do you know what I mean? I don't think ghost, I really don't like ghosting. I think it's really detrimental to people. Yeah, it's really not nice. So I'm glad that this person is wanting to, you know, express how they feel. If he's still not getting the point after that, then yeah, fair enough. Ghost. Do it. I condone that kind of ghosting, because when some people do not get the point or get the message after it's been very, very clear more than once, it's like, yeah, you don't really, you should not be in my aura anymore, so please, you're out of this. You know, ghost block, what's it called, unmatch, whatever it is. But yeah, just be clear. Like, don't be too overthinking about how they're going to react, or oh my god, I'm gonna hurt their feelings. Like, they will get over it eventually. And that is up to them to deal with that. Like, as long as you're not being horrible, you know, what can you do? Like, you're just being honest, and it leaves room for that person to find someone for them and for you to find someone for you. So think of it like that. But yeah guys, that is the end of this video. That is all the advice I am giving, unsolicited of course. Yeah, thank you for coming to this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought. Let me know any of your responses to the questions down below. Let me know if any of you are dealing with similar things, and I'll see you all in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Question, tell me